Hey everybody, it's Kendra. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. So in my video today, I'm going to share several different things that I do during cold and flu season. You know, if I start feeling a little bit sick, or just as like preventative measures. I'm a big fan of DIY. I've got all my little herbs and potions and things right here I want to share. But as always, I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. So if you are sick or you have the flu, please go see your doctor. And yeah, speak with your doctor before doing any sorts of treatments. Anywho, I have a few different things I want to share. A lot of ideas relate to things you actually consume, and then a few other ideas just sort of, you know, for things around the home. Now, the first one I want to share is probably my favorite concoction for if I start getting like a sore throat and I just know something's coming. Like, you know, the day before you actually have a full-blown cold, your throat starts to hurt, you might be sinusy, you just feel tired, you're just kind of blah, you know something is coming. So that is when I bring out the big guns. And the big guns for me are rose hips, hibiscus, and elderberry. So what I do, I take my little teapot here. This is probably a 6 or 8 cup teapot, just a cheapo from IKEA with the little mesh strainer in the middle. So I like to put in 1 tablespoon of rose hips. So they look like this, and they smell amazing. Rose hips have lots of vitamin C, lots of antioxidants, super good for colds. I also put in 1 tablespoon of hibiscus. That's what hibiscus looks like. And this stuff smells bomb. This stuff smells so good. Again, lots of antioxidants in there. And then 2 tablespoons of elderberries. Got my giant bag of elderberries here. And they're just kind of, you know, like a dark purple, black sort of berry. Smell awesome as well. So I put all of my herbs in here. So again, 2 tablespoons elderberry, 1 each of hibiscus and rose hips. I put all those in the little strainer. I will also dump in some powdered ginger and the juice of a couple lemons. Fill this with hot water, let it steep for about 15 minutes. And then when I go to drink this, I will put a little bit of Manuka honey into my cup and then put in the liquid. If you don't have Manuka honey, normal honey is totally fine. I just love Manuka because it has a lot of like antibacterial, antimicrobial properties. I swear Manuka could heal so many things. Manuka is amazing. If you've never tried Manuka honey, I definitely recommend it. So yeah, I will drink this whole pot during the day, during the course of the day. Sometimes, if I still have a lot more time before I'm going to bed, I'll just, you know, refill this with more hot water. I generally will use the herbs in here, you know, twice. That's fine, you know, why not? They still have lots of good stuff to give off. So I generally find when I do this little concoction, if I do it right when I'm starting to feel sick, I generally can prevent a cold. I generally beat it. You know, I'll get a lot of sleep that night, and then usually the next day I feel better. My mom was actually recently sick, so I sent her all of these little ingredients, and she did it, and she said, you know, within like a day, a couple days, she felt a lot better. Also, if you do not have a teapot, fret not. You can use a strainer, or if you have any of these little like tea bags, this totally works as well. All right, the next thing I want to talk about for both like when I'm actually sick or if I'm, you know, wanting to just prevent getting sick, I love medicinal mushrooms, and I have been getting so into medicinal mushrooms. Everybody who's talked to me, like, I just go on and on about mushrooms, and they're like, Kendra, you're such a freak. But anyway, medicinal mushrooms are fascinating. I actually just finished an online class all about medicinal mushrooms. It was created by the people from Four Sigmatic. Four Sigmatic is a cool mushroom brand. I do like a lot of their products. But they did this free online program. It was so so interesting. I'll actually try to put a link down below. I need to find the link. But yeah, I'll put that down below if you are interested in learning more about mushrooms. Also, if you are interested in more mushroom info, I would definitely recommend checking out this book, Healing Mushrooms. This is by the guy who founded Four Sigmatic, and it is super, super, super interesting. Talks all about the different mushrooms and has a ton of different recipes for actually like making food and things out of these mushrooms. So the medicinal mushrooms I love for immune support. I love chaga. For me, chaga is amazing for, you know, just dealing with a cold or preventing a cold. Chaga is this big funky mushroom that grows on birch trees. It looks black from the outside. It looks really gross from the outside. But on the inside, it's kind of this brown color. So when you get chaga, you can get it kind of ground up like this. You can also get it finely ground into like a powder. Then I also have some chaga that's actually already put in little tea bags. So these are super, super convenient. And then obviously Four Sigmatic does do little packets of their elixirs. So this is their chaga. I also really like reishi for immune support. Reishi to me is generally more like a calming mushroom, but I will definitely use this for feeling better as well. Now, if you are using chaga like this, not an actual chaga extract, like the Four Sigmatic stuff is an extract, you can mix that with hot water, drink it right away. If you are just using ground up chaga, such as this, or even the powder, you will want to let this steep for a while. You know, pour some boiling water over it, let it sit, let it steep, to just sort of release all of the good stuff in here. Also, I mentioned reishi, so I do actually have this bag of reishi extract. This is red reishi extract. So I actually like to use both of these together, the ground chaga and the reishi extract. I like to put about a half teaspoon of each of these in a mug or a thermos, as I have right now. I actually like to put a little bit of cinnamon in here and then some hot water. Let this kind of steep, do its thing for about 15 minutes, and then start drinking it. And then my favorite way to take my reishi and my chaga is actually in a mushroom hot chocolate mix. I will link the recipe for this down below. I believe it's from Paleo Mama. I have both chaga and reishi in here. This is delicious. I believe the recipe originally calls for coconut sugar, but I use monkfruit extract and it is bomb. This makes such a nice dark chocolatey rich hot chocolate. Ooh, I put this with almond milk. It is super, super, super tasty. Now, another mushroom I'm very interested in for immune support, but I have not yet tried it, is turkey tail. Turkey tail is meant to be amazing for the immune system and just dealing with colds. I do have some turkey tail coming in a couple days, so I will have to report back on that one. All right, a few other things I actually like to consume to sort of get healthy. Lots and lots of fresh garlic. Garlic is amazing if you are sick. I don't know about powdered garlic. I always just go for fresh garlic. I don't actually ever really use powdered garlic. I'm definitely a fresh garlic kind of gal. I love to put a ton of garlic into soup. Like if I'm feeling sick, I have been known to just take a little saucepan, dump in a bunch of garlic, maybe some onions, some carrots, water, and just cook that. And then eat it, and you will stink, and you will be extra tooty, and your toots will stink, but it is worth it because I swear garlic will just kill everything in you and you'll feel a lot better. Also, if I'm just like making chicken soup or something, I'll put a ton of garlic in there. I do like to make homemade chicken soup when I am feeling sick. That's awesome. Obviously with tons of garlic, that'll be extra potent. Also, I really like to juice a ton of ginger and a ton of lemons and just put this concoction into a little jar, keep it in the fridge. That will keep for a while in the fridge. And yeah, if I'm starting to feel sick or have a little sore throat, I like to put some of that into a mug, put a little Manuka honey in it, some hot water. That will definitely soothe a sore throat and make you feel better as well. And obviously, you know, herbal tea is great. If you're gonna do herbal tea, throw in some lemon, throw in some honey, throw in some ginger. Turmeric could be great, cinnamon. A lot of these spices, these kind of spicier spices, these are awesome for dealing with a cold. So I think that's about everything I actually consume if I'm starting to feel sick. A few other things I like to do. I do have a humidifier in our bedroom, and I generally will fill that up in the morning and let it run all day. I don't like to run it at night just because it makes some noise, and it has a light and then I can't sleep. But anyway, if I run that during the day, then at night I find that I don't wake up with, you know, like the dry throat and the dry sinuses. I feel like that really helps. Also, if I'm already really sick and I'm like super congested and sinusy, I like to make an herbal steam. I actually did a video on this a couple years ago. I'll put it down below. But basically, I like to take a big bowl of hot water, maybe put some herbs in it if I have fresh herbs, or, you know, a couple drops of essential oil, and then just take a towel, tent it over my head, and then just breathe this in. That's generally a really good way to break up some of the junk in your sinuses and just kind of get stuff draining. Obviously, hot showers are great. Also, I do love to take baths if I am sick. I like to use a lot of Epsom salt in my baths. I go through a lot of Epsom salt. I'm constantly buying Epsom salt when I go to Costco. Also in my baths, I will sometimes put in like eucalyptus essential oil just to, you know, help with clearing out my nose. I will also sometimes put in either June or kombucha vinegar. This is basically just June or kombucha I have brewed, but I've let over ferment. It eventually turns to vinegar. It's really nice in the tub. You can also put like apple cider vinegar in there as well. And then finally, I just try to avoid going to really busy places during cold and flu season. And I'm also just much more aware of like what I'm touching. And I'm just, you know, always washing my hands and just trying to avoid people I know are sick. You know, if I have a date with a friend, and then my friend says he or she is sick, I'm just like, yeah, let's just not meet up. Let's just, you know, meet later. So I definitely try to avoid sick people. So anywho, those are a few ideas for things that I do when I'm starting to feel sick, and also just like for prevention during cold and flu season. I know it totally sucks to get sick and, you know, be out of work or school or just this life. Like being sick sucks. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope you maybe got a few ideas for how to prevent some of these issues. Again, I am not a doctor, so, you know, please seek professional medical advice if you are super sick or before attempting any of these things. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!